Hi everyone. First of all, happy Thanksgiving. We know some of you wrote to us that we should remember that today was Thanksgiving in the US, but we have people from all different countries that connect. And we also have our headquarters here in Medellin where we wish we had Thanksgiving, but we don't.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about the Particle library and the updates we created. I have with me today Jose, that I think all of you already know, and David, and they're going to explain how we did some updates and how it will work. So how are you guys?
Thank you, Sophie. As always, it's really nice to be here with you guys today. To extend Sophie's congrats about Thanksgiving in the US. Well, Thanksgiving for everyone. We are not on holidays here, but yeah, we know you are enjoying it. Here with me is also Jose, our pro hardware engineer, who is going to talk a lot today to us about our new release, our new Particle library, to integrate with Particle Cloud really easily and make this connection between these clouds, Ubidots and Particle, straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Jose, do you want to say something before we jump in, or?
No, let's begin.
Yeah, let's begin. So guys, we want to tell you that this library is available for every Particle users. You can find it on GitHub. Let me please share our screen.
Before you do that,
Yep.
before you do that, remember that I am connected, so in case you have any questions or you don't understand one of the things the guys are explaining, just write to me through YouTube or Facebook and I will let them know.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Sophie. So let's change scene to totally. So if you look on github.com and look for Ubidots, let's go to Ubidots, you will find the first library actually is Ubidots Particle. I don't know why, but you will find that the last release is 3.0. You can see this on versions.
Yeah, it's very important that this is a new huge release. We have been listening to our users. Both Particle and Ubidots are platforms that have been growing a lot in the last years. The first release of this library was like 1 year ago. So we have made new things, new stuff, and also Particle. And these updates, it's a way to update also the new, to integrate the new stuff that has made Ubidots and Particle to integrate both platforms. So right now we support a lot of new things, and it's easier to send data using Particle devices to Ubidots now. So
yeah.
that's why it's very important. The new tag is 3.0, and it's very important that our users know that this library was made for the last release from the Particle firmware. It's 0.7, and that we don't manage backward compatibility. So if you wish to use this new library release, please update your Particle devices. That's all. And keep in mind that if you have an old firmware and you use this version of the library, that old firmware will not work properly. So you need to update also your example or your firmware based in our new examples, which are in fact easier than the example that we had in the past.
Yeah, that's great. I just want to make an additional comment about Jose's. This library now integrates 3 protocols, that being HTTP, TCP, and UDP.
Yeah.
And additional to that, we can handle webhooks, so your life is pretty easier. You just need to set up your webhook on Particle Cloud, and from that point on, everything is just as straightforward as we are going to see today.
Yeah, we noticed that most of our users really like webhooks from Particle.
Yep.
In fact, it's right now the most secure way to send data because it's already encrypted. And we found that their main difficulty was to build properly the payload. So now the library builds the payload for you in the backend, in the backend, and you just need to use the classic add and send methods to use webhooks. And so it's very easy to integrate Particle now using webhooks.
So Jose, what do you think if we jump into Ubidots Particle build, the web IDE, and see just a simple example to send data?
Okay.
Just at that. So I'm going to give you the keyboard and mouse, and you go ahead. You're the pro here.
So the library, I just want to show you the new examples. First than burning the firmware. We have a lot of examples. We have example for HTTP, TCP, and also particle webhooks. You can notice them here. And you can notice also that the library, in fact, is bigger, or for saying that in that way, than the last one. We have made a lot of improvement in the backend for the library. So this is all for you guys. So you can use easier Ubidots and Particle. So I have already an example here for sending data. Yes. So I would like to explain the generalities of the library. And now the constructor supports the protocol that you want to use for sending data. So
let me ask you something. You're saying that by the constructor you just need to use like a flag to know, so the library knows which protocol are you going to use, right?
Sure. So it's, for example, this one is for using HTTP, but if you just need to use TCP, you just write here TCP, and that's all.
It needs to be uppercase, right?
Yeah, it needs to be uppercase.
I don't know why it's not working. Maybe you should use shift. Yeah, TCP.
It's TCP. And if you wish to use UDP, you just need to change here UDP, or if you wish to use particle webhook, you just need to write here particle. Yeah. So it's very easy. If you also you don't want to set the protocol, you just build the constructor in this way, and the particle by default we use TCP, which is the most lightweight protocol that we can manage using particles. So
that's really nice for the Electron, because it's cellular network. You don't want to consume a lot of data.
Yeah,
that's great.
For Electron, we really recommend to use TCP or particle webhooks. Okay, guys. So here, basically, I have already defined my token, the token from my account, and I'm going to send data to a device labeled as Photon. We are making our test using a Photon, but you can use an Electron as well. In the setup, I just make available some debug traces, some debug messages, and here in the main loop, I just read some analog pins, and I'm going to send those values in 3 different variables. So notice that the method for adding values is the same that the particle has been managing. So we just use the add method, and in this case I'm going to add to a new variable labeled as pressure this value, another variable labeled as light this one, and another variable labeled as temperature this one. Yeah. So
and this is going to construct just like that the payload needed to send it to Ubidots according to the protocol I choose. Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about that. You will get a 400 error from Ubidots because you don't build properly the payload. So
wow, that's great. I mean, you just had 6 lines and you are already reading 3-pin analogs from the Photon, and you're constructing a payload. To Ubidots API.
But that, if the library in the backend make a lot of things, you just need to pass to the library the values that you want to send or you want to store. The dots. In fact, those are dots.
That's great. Yeah, continue.
So here I'm just making a flag.
Why do you need that?
Because I want to make sure that the data is sent. So this method Ubidots sends all these values, makes the payloads and sends to Ubidots and returns true if the data was sent. So that's why I make this check here. If buffer becomes true, notice that it becomes as false. If buffer becomes true, so the values were properly sent. So you can also put here different kind of routines that you wish, but that's the main idea. And notice that the send method also supports, you just need to put there the device label that you wish to create at Ubidots.
So let me interrupt you there. What if I want to not use a particular device label but the particle ID? What do I have to do to make that?
That's interesting. If you are thinking in 100 or 1,000 of devices.
Yep.
This framework, this example is not scalable. You should not use this example. And for that kind of solution, you just need to use the same method without any kind of device label, and the library in the backend sends data to the particular device ID. So every device from Particle has a unique device ID. So with this firmware, just erasing this part of the example, you will get a new device, and you can use the same firmware to burn 100 or 1,000 of devices.
So the device label is going to match Particle's ID, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. What do you think if we upload those two examples to the firmware, to the photon, and then check on Ubidots the difference between the device label set by us and the particle ID?
Okay,
Yeah.
just let's create this one.
Okay.
In this case, remember guys, I'm using HTTP, but you can use TCP or UDP as well. So here we already have a photon. Just give us a couple of minutes, and while we wait to the USB firmware, I just want to notice to you guys that we also support in this method not only device label, but if you use TCP, you can also send the device name. So you can already have or set up your device using a unique label, for example your particle ID, but you can also customize your device name. That's also supported right now by TCP. We hope to support that in HTTP, but just use TCP and you can set here your device name and it will be created.
And I guess all these important details are on the libraries documents on GitHub.
At GitHub, yes. And GitHub you can find here all the details about the methods.
Okay, that's great.
Notice here that the send method already supports device label and device name. And there is something special about publish flags. Publish flags are the special flags from Particle webhooks. So you can also send as inputs particular flags to use in your particular webhooks.
So but I think we can see that on upcoming example about webhooks.
Yeah.
That's great. So what do you think if we go to...
I'm just going to sniff the serial port.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I'm using Arduino, nothing else, but just to listen to the serial port. And here you can see that I have already made some debug traces, and here the device tells me what is in the backend. So you can notice here that this is the already payload that is being built. So notice that this matches with what we already have set up here. So I'm sending values to pressure, light, temperature, and temperature. But you don't need to know how to do this. The library makes that for you, so it's easier to send data.
Yes, I said.
Also here, notice that here is the HTTP request, and this is notice that here is the device unique, the unique device label. So
wow.
So as every particle device has an unique identifier, so it will be created at Ubidots with this number. Yeah.
So you're telling me that the library already sent data to Ubidots, and we should be seeing a new device with this variable label.
Device label.
Device label. Yeah, because the variable labels are pressure, light, and temperature. Okay, that's great. Yeah, show me.
Just notice. Look here. I have in this moment 4 devices. Just reshare this. And here is, there is. So there's a new device already created using HTTP, and here are my 3 variables.
Wow.
So this is pretty cool because it's a very easy way to create your POCs, your proof of concept. So you can just board your firmware in less than 5 minutes and have already data at Ubidots.
Yeah, I think Particle and Ubidots is a really good match, because in like 5 minutes you just need to copy paste a code we already provided, a library we already made for you, and have Ubidots data on Ubidots.
Yeah.
You know, we took like, what do you say, Sophie, 7 minutes?
Yes.
7 minutes to get data to Ubidots.
So just made the another test. You said, hey, I want to see that a device a device with a new label is created, but just customize it. So I'm going to send this one, photon, and we should be this new the same firmware can be used to send the same data to a custom device.
Yeah, that's what you told me a few minutes ago. So now the device is going to be called Photon, I think. Photon. Okay, that's great. Yeah, go ahead.
So
let's verify it.
Let's verify it and just burn it. You can add as many variables as you need. The library already support up to 10 variables. That's very important. That's a limit that we put because it's important to manage the device memory. So
yeah, of course.
We know that when you build a solution, the solution is not about only sending data, but it's only about reading data from sensor and different stuff. So in order to make that the library doesn't take much memory from your device, we also limit the amount of memory that we have to the payload.
Yeah,
so that's why we set the max number of variables to be sent to 10.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, this is just a sample code to send data, but everybody needs to understand that IoT application, IoT firmware needs a lot of other routines apart from sending data.
Yeah.
So you need to manage all your application in your firmware device. So we try to minimize any errors with the memory leaks.
Yeah.
So that's why we can only send 10 variables. If I'm mistaken, you please tell me. You just can send a maximum of 700 bytes in the payload.
Yeah,
right?
700 bytes. So that's the max payload that you can send. And also, I would like to notice to our users that we make our best to have the best library for you guys, but there are a lot of applications, and this library is a good starting point. But probably your application would need that you custom the way that you send data. Yeah. Because sometimes. Here I support a lot of protocols, but maybe your application just need one HTTP or TCP. So it's better that instead of using a library that have all of them, probably you need something more optimized. But it's great for. I think that the library should work for most of our use cases.
Yeah, so that's really great. So
here I think that it's already sending. Just look here. The device has been already burned. The firmware is already uploaded. And here you can see that here's a photon.
Yeah, that's great. So people, I want you to know that the second device, the long number matching particles ID, is no longer receiving data, but the photon does, because we have just one photon here and we change the firmware. So can you show me that the last value from the photon is like a few seconds ago?
Yeah, a few seconds ago, and this one is like 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, so 3 minutes ago. That's when we updated the firmware.
The device. So
really nice.
Here, look back. The photon already have the same variables that had the
previous
last
one.
device. And I would like to notice you that we at Ubidots already support device types, and we can use device type also with our library. So just let me show you guys what do we have here. We have already set up a device which is labeled as Particle.
Can you give us a little brief about what is device types and how people can take advantage to whether POC or scale their applications to thousands of?
Sometimes this kind of plain device it's fine, but probably your application or your brand management needs something else. And probably the default Ubidots colors doesn't work for you, or you wish to have different types of colors at your device view. So that's what you can already set up here. You can set up the device color, for example, the variable default color, and also the synthetic variables. That's not only about this kind of customizing. You can also create the default description for the device. Also, you can add different kind of device properties here. For example, you can use all of our actually available device properties that have all the devices at Ubidots, and also you can create default variables. So, for example, you can be sending only raw variables, but you wish to process them. This is a classical example. I'm sending data from temperature in centigrades, and here I just switch those values to Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So this is a synthetic variable that you also can create in your device type, and all the devices that use this type will be created with this color and with these variables.
And the properties.
And everything
That's really great.
that's already set up.
Guys, we got a question through intercom.
Yeah.
So one of our clients or users is what?
It's educational.
Okay. One of our educational users is
great.
asking us, I'm using Particle Electron hardware. How do you flash the same particle code onto many devices without having to manually type in the token for each different device? Currently, the only way that I see to authenticate devices or get them to speak to the correct device is manually changing the code token in the Electron firmware code.
So, actually, that's a really nice question. I don't know the name of the user, but thank you for that. So, you just have a firmware, right, with a token. You just need to select the particular device to which you want to upload that firmware, right? You don't have to make a new firmware for each Electron device. That makes sense to you, Jose?
In fact, Particle already supports different ways to burn several devices, not only go into the web ID and flash them one by one, but that's particular for Particle, not for us. About the tokens question, I don't know if you are using educational. At educational, we don't manage this kind of stuff. I think that we would advise to switch to
exactly. If you are thinking about scaling to thousands, well, let me tell you that Ubidots for Education is just a platform, a secondary platform we enable for users as a means to spread IoT work. But definitely you need to switch to IoT Ubidots core platform. This platform, which has device types, which has better reliability, and well, a lot of other functions, really powerful for end user applications. But
another way to, if you don't want to type a token in every firmware, you can use webhooks as well. So you just need to set up in your webhook a particular token only once, and you just need to create a firmware already once, and just the rest is between Particle and Ubidots.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we're going to get that in a few minutes while we finish device types and then switch to. I think it's a good idea to switch to webhooks.
Okay, so
And also I have other two questions. So
You have other two questions. Okay, people is really active today. That's really nice.
okay, so it's clear about device type, or you want to add something else?
I just want to add a quick note about device types. This is a tool built in on Ubidots to, let's say, create devices already set up with certain property, colors, variables, synthetic variables, right from the first connection. So if you define a type that we're going to do right now with example, then the recently created device is going to have all these properties already built in. You don't have to do anything manual or clicking. No, just you do it once and use it 1,000 times.
Cool. So just let me talk about something additional. When you create a device type, Ubidots shows you how to use it. So in this case, you can notice that the endpoint is the same that we have been using at our API, and you just need to change your device label, which is already set up here, like Photon, and you just need to add this particular string to your device label.
The parameter.
This is the parameter, so I'm just going to make this, copy and paste, and
you should change the label because Photon is already created.
Let's put Photon type.
Photon type. That's great.
So we can make that a new device will be created and the difference between those devices. So just
let's verify it.
Let's verify and upload the firmware.
While that compiles and we upload it, I know Sophie is looking at me like, I have some other questions. So let's take this opportunity to have another question.
Super active. Okay, so Mike wrote to us, Thank you again for the great info. I am new to this library. If we have an existing code currently sending events to Particle, do we simply include the library to this existing code and add code to existing firmware as required?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with particle events. I don't know if Jose is, but you just need to add these routines to forward data to Ubidots. You can do it by HTTP or webhooks. If you are already using events, I guess you know webhooks. We are going to see that example in a few minutes, and that's it. You just need to add.
Actually, the events usually triggers a function at Particle, but right now this library does not support it. Just support to trigger webhooks. So I think that is a nice
to have.
Nice to have for the next release. We would like to tell you guys that we think about several days to know what to add to the library. So it's very important for us, your feedback. Your feedback is very important for us because right now we don't know what else you wish from the library.
Okay.
So just make this new release an opportunity to listen to you guys and that you tell us, hey, I would like that the library supports this and this and this. The big refactor that was made to the library now allows us to modify it easier. So
and add new features
faster and easier. So
okay, that's great. Mike, I hope we answered your question. If not, please reach out to us directly to support@ubidots.com, and of course we'll help you handle your questions. I'm seeing that.
Notice here that I just want to show you the serial port output.
Yeah.
Notice here that the actual request is using the device type. So a new device type should be created with the already set up properties. So just come back here and refresh, and there it is. So remember, this is the first device that is created with the default device label. This is the second one that was created using a custom device label, and this is the third one that is created using a device type. So just look into, and you will notice that not only the colors are different, but also some new variables are created by default. So there's a control variable that is not being sent here. Here I'm just sending pressure, light, and temperature, and here is created control because it's already set at the device type.
At the device type.
Yeah, and also humidity is already set at the device type, but not here at my firmware. So it's not getting data to this particular variable, but it's there because you already set up to have this variable in this device type.
And I also noticed that the property we set up on the device type, like Facebook Live, worked. So device type works. That's really nice.
And also a synthetic variable. So notice that here is temperature, which is being sent by the device, and here is the same value but in Fahrenheit.
That's great. Yeah, that's really nice.
It's pretty cool, and you have noted that it's pretty easy to use it. Yeah.
It's really straightforward, really fast. I mean, we just have been making few changes to the firmware, and we are using device types. We are creating new variables. We are switching between protocols. I mean, if we start now with webhooks, which we are going to do right now, you will see that there are some lines in the code that change, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's really easy.
It's really easy. So just use webhooks. I'm going to show you our actual console.
We need to show
how to set up the
webhook.
The webhook.
Yeah, of course.
There's already a help center for you guys. If you have any doubt, you can just reference the help center article. But just go to integration, and here's a new webhook, which is Ubidots. So in the past, we noticed that we need to build here a custom JSON and a lot of stuff here in the Particle webhook, and our users get confused because I understand that if you are beginning or is this the first time with an IoT device, it's hard to know what a payload is, and you just want to send data faster.
And actually, if you are a beginner, it's already hard to know what is a webhook. So if you have a guide, as we have it on our help center, that indicates how to build it step by step, and with time and practice you get to know every detail, well, that's easier to engage with IoT.
Yeah.
In this case, webhooks are really nice to start involving with IoT, because it always makes the hard work
For you.
for you,
Basically
and
for
made
you.
by the library in this case, or by Particle. I just want to make a quick note about webhooks. Please understand that this feature or a tool is just a bridge between Ubidots Cloud and webhook and Particle Cloud.
Yeah.
This is the bridge between those. Yeah, if you can show us like.
Yeah, I just want to edit it so you can see what's in the backend. So here is the Ubidots, the webhook name, which is Ubidots. Here is the typical Ubidots API endpoint, which is devices. And notice here the Particle has a way to just let the default Particle ID in your URL. So here what we are making is to create a new device, or to send data if already exists to a device that matches the device.
The Particle ID.
Particle ID.
That's great.
Yeah,
And
that's
this is really scalable, because you don't have to create a new webhook for each device.
Yeah.
This can handle all devices.
Only one webhook for thousands of devices. Yeah.
Great.
That's great. Another important thing to notice here is that the most secure way to send data actually is using webhooks, because the guys from Particle have made awesome work for managed security, data security.
They already encrypt data from their firmware.
They already encrypt data.
Only when they use webhooks.
Yeah, only when
that's
they
great.
use webhooks.
Okay.
So we really advise you guys to use Particle webhooks, because there's a lot of security improvement that you can take advantage. So there's only a special thing here, and is the custom request body. You just need to copy and paste this particular sentence, which is the Particle event value. The Particle event value will receive the already built payload from the Ubidots library.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't care about how to build the payload. You don't know to care anything about how to send data to Ubidots. You just need to copy and paste this, just like this one, and create this webhook. And just add here your token, the token from your account, which should match this one. So just copy and paste this. So we make sure that we are not sending data to another account. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the token, your account token. That's what we need, and save it. So how do we use this?
Okay, let's show me.
So instead of using a custom device label, we are going just to put here the webhook name.
Webhook name.
Yeah.
You should change device label for webhook name.
Webhook name. Yeah. You can to make it clearly.
Yeah, so people know what we're talking about.
Webhook label.
Okay,
webhook
label
name.
that's fine, or name, whatever you want actually.
Webhook name.
Webhook name.
Yeah. And here I just need to change for Particle.
And you don't have to change the token, because that is not necessary.
In fact, I
right
don't
now.
need the token, but usually the constructor asks for you for the tokens. But in fact, as we are using Ubi Particle, the
You don't need
token
the
can be a ROM token. The library will not use it in the back, because it doesn't need it.
Okay, yeah.
You just need to trigger a Particle webhook.
You just leave it like
the token
that.
is already set up at the Particle.
You just leave it like that, so because it's an important parameter the library needs, but it's not going to use it.
Yeah, because usually you need the token if you are using HTTP, TCP, or UDP. So that's why the constructor always asks you for a token. But in this particular case, using Particle webhooks, you don't need it. You already have set up that at the Particle side. So here I'm just going to copy and paste
Webhook name.
webhook name. That's all. So
Wait a second. We just need to change the flag to indicate that was a Particle webhook.
yeah,
And the other stuff remains the same.
the other stuff
And
remain
we're
the same.
using webhooks.
Yeah, and we're using webhooks.
Okay, that's even faster than I thought.
in the past, the users needs to build in this in the main loop the payload and to make sure that it was all properly built.
And that requires people to know about JSON structures, Ubidots structure. This is a lot of more easy because, well, you just have to define your variable labels. You just have to define your webhook name, and that's it. Because on the background, we're going to use the particle ID as device label. So it's actually pretty
Notice
easy.
here that in my console, we have already uploaded the firmware, and on my console, the webhook is being triggered. So here at Ubidots, remember that we are using the default particle device ID, so it should be stored here. Because we already created that at the beginning of the speaker. There you are. You have here your values already been set using particle webhooks.
Yeah, I want to show people that important thing. Yeah, we're using webhooks, and as we had already this device created on Ubidots, you can see here that at the beginning we start sending data, and now that we are using webhooks, this gap is actually all the time we have been talking about other
sending
protocols.
Data to another device.
To another device, and then here at the end we are seeing the new data coming from the particle webhook. This is the new data. That's really nice. It's just a minor change on the firmwares, and
cool.
This is it. Do you have?
Yeah, we have one. I would think one last question.
Yep.
Like, since we already passed
The time, yeah.
As usual. But John wrote us through mail. Of your guys' expertise, would the guys suggest webhooks or sending data directly to Ubidots? Which is the quickest integration? Which is the most secure? And which would you recommend to deploy for the deployment of 100 or more devices?
I'll leave that question to Jose because
I believe that you were going to answer it.
Well, I can answer partially, but I know you have more technical stuff to say here.
We really advise to our users to use webhooks. It's the most secure way to send data because it's already encrypted. We would like to support TLS in the future for our library, but the guys from Particle have already made an awesome job with managing security data. So if you use both Electron or Photons, they already made some adjustment to make very light the packet to be sent. So if you're using Electrons, particle webhooks are already improved, optimized, and so on to manage a very small size of packets. So it will be cheaper also for you to send data using particle webhooks. For thousands of devices, you can manage any of the protocols. We already support thousands of devices using any of the available protocols. But I think that for security reasons, the winner is particle webhooks.
It's particle webhooks. Yeah, I think the same, and it's really easy. You just from copy paste code and copy paste parameters on the webhook setup, and then you are already done sending data and secure data, encrypted data to Ubidots. Do you want to add something else?
No, I don't know if we have more questions. We have an additional sample, but
I mean,
I don't think we have time right now. Yeah, we are short on time now, but if you want to find more examples about Ubidots' new library for particle devices, I encourage you to visit, where is that, here on GitHub. You can see all the examples here available, or you can visit, let's show this one, this is really important. This is our new, it's not new, it's our help center, and just by putting here particle, you will find the available articles, tutorials. For example, connect your particle device to Ubidots using particle webhooks and Ubidots library to make your life easy. You just need to follow the steps, and we show you how to set up the webhook, and the code is already provided, tested and proven. Create a new app, well, all from the beginning. And here we have another the second article using HTTP, TCP and UDP.
we had a question about that. Actually, a guy was asking me why
Tell me.
use UDP instead of TCP. So I guess
Okay, that's
The answer is
that's
there.
nice. UDP
It's even lighter than TCP.
is faster, in fact,
It's
because
faster.
probably it's the wrong word. It's not about faster. UDP usually doesn't wait for an answer from the server, so
Uh-huh.
you can send data faster than TCP.
Mhm.
Because TCP, when you begin to send data using TCP, you send the packet and you just wait for an answer.
You
from
need
the
an
server.
answer from the server.
And so
Mhm.
there's an additional small time in that action, while UDP
Only
you
send.
you
It's not designed.
send.
Okay, it's not designed to receive data.
It's not designed. for
ACK
receiving
is
data.
not supported, or
Yeah.
retrieving data is not supported with UDP.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So UDP is
Only for
a
sending.
nice protocol for asynchronous projects.
Okay.
If you need something asynchronous, use UDP. Keep in mind that as UDP doesn't expect from an answer for the server, also UDP with UDP you cannot make sure that the data was
received. Uh-huh.
at the server side.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah, you cannot have
penalization.
everything
Yeah.
on your hands. You need to pay for fast or asynchronous projects, and then you cannot confirm that data was received.
Yeah.
But that's how it is.
yeah.
Okay. So guys, Sophie, do you have something else to do?
Well,
Sorry?
yeah, I just wanted to tell you again, happy Thanksgiving, and also we have realized that we have some people that understand these things also better in Spanish because we have people all around the world. So the next Facebook Live or the next YouTube Live that it's in 15 days, in 2 weeks, is gonna be in Spanish, talking about the same thing. So if you have
Oh, that's
questions,
great.
if something was not clear, let us know. And also for the people that speaks English, in case you have any questions, remember that we have, as David was saying, the help center. We also have the blog, and David is always there to help you with Sergio, the other guy.
Yeah,
That
that's true.
will
Yeah, we are always
answer all
we are
your
always-
questions.
we are always behind the support channels. So if you want to reach out that way on the in-app, just do, and we reply back as soon as possible.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys,
Mm-hmm.
and hope to see you in the next Ubidots Live.
Okay, thank you, Sophie. Thank you, guys. See you around, and
Bye.
see you the other Thursday, actually.